Hey everybody, this is SanchoWest. I'm going to go at it with no edits. This is going to be talking about what happened at Elimination Chamber. I'm hoping that you've seen it. Is by far one of the best Elimination Chambers of Triple H's career, and definitely one of the best PLEs of all time because of one historic event. From top to bottom, the entire card delivered, even though that the card itself is very light, 4 matches, and of course the ending segment. I wish there was a little bit of more matches, but when you see the gravitas of the entire experience of the Elimination Chamber in a nutshell, there's just no way you could fit anymore because this PLE was dense. But typically here I like to do video essays, and I do it in a well-edited way. And also I am the co-host of the Wrestling School podcast. If you want to check me out, go in a long, deep conversation with my co-host partner, Santi Zap. What I want to do in today's episode, if you please like and subscribe as well, what I want to do in today's episode is talk about John Cena. Now, if you've been following my channel, been following the podcast, I've been talking about this John Cena heel turn for a long time, actually. I've been about weeks and weeks in advance of seeing the tea leaves of what's going to happen with John Cena. And essentially, John Cena has been leaving breadcrumbs about this entire situation in various different platforms. And recently, he did it in Chris Van Vliet's podcast. And he talks about this moment where basically, and I read this video about it in a previous thing, but basically he says, human beings are not perfect, and that what makes it beautiful. And he continues to talk about how everybody turns heel eventually, and then he lands on this point where he says the beautiful part about life is when the good guy finds or lost his way and they find a way back to who they are, and that's the beauty of life, and that's a beautiful story. So if all those people wondering why did John Cena turn heel, why did he go ahead and do this, let's go ahead and quickly talk about it. John Cena, in that promo in the Royal Rumble in 2025, talked about how he looked at the WrestleMania sign and he realized that was his last Royal Rumble, and he felt this instant, like, overwhelming rush of sadness that he is losing time, the time he's running out of for him to actually get to main event at WrestleMania. He says so himself in that interview that he's been being a gimmick for the longest time in WrestleMania, just being the filler type of match, being the legend to get the comeback match, being a host. He's been used as a gimmick for the long time, and he's coming back to claim what's his. He's going to claim himself for the chamber, and he's going to compete for his spot at WrestleMania. So he says all that, and you could tell by the sound of his voice, he feels scared and he's vulnerable, that he doesn't know what he's going to do. So fast forward to all of a sudden he shows up in Chamber. He does a one little heel thing during Chamber where Seth Rollins takes out CM Punk, and he basically takes advantage of the situation. He puts CM Punk in STF and basically knocks him out cold with it, chokes him out essentially. Out goes CM Punk. John Cena shakes the hands of Cody Rhodes, and this whole time he's just a snake in the grass. The Rock comes out. If you know, The Rock comes out, asks Cody for his soul. Cody says, "Go F yourself" to The Rock. John Cena pops. And as always, as tale as old as time in wrestling, there's always a plan B, and plan B was John Cena turned heel, selling his soul to The Rock. And you may be wondering why he sold himself to The Rock. Well, one, to guarantee that shot and to guarantee a higher chance of winning that 17th time championship. And this is the same reasons why The Rock was offering Cody Rhodes the ability to give himself a higher status, the ability to cement himself forever, to make people happy for the longest time. Those are the same things that kind of apply to John Cena. The thing is that's different is that John Cena has many of those things that The Rock has in terms of Hollywood status, in terms of just popularity throughout the world. The only thing he doesn't have is that he's chasing that gold for the 17th power. For The Rock gains himself a champion who's willing to fight for him in the ring. And I made another video about this, about what is it that The Rock ultimately wants. The Rock wants a fighting champion because there's one place that The Rock doesn't have power, and that is in the ring. He has power everywhere else. He has power on Instagram. He has power in Hollywood. He doesn't have power in the ring, especially he has power as a TKO board member. So what does it mean for John Cena, right? What does it mean for the golden boy who's been a babyface for 23 years, who has the most Make-A-Wish foundations? If this sounds very similar to you, if you've been a fan of my YouTube channel for a long time, you know why. It's okay. John Cena told us it's a beautiful story, all right? And the story that he references in that Chris Van Vliet podcast interview, which is a great podcast, He says it's Darth Vader. It's Star Wars. Darth Vader. What happened to Darth Vader? Darth Vader is the tale of a man who grows up and who's supposed to bring balance to the Force, makes the decision to join the dark side, to Emperor Palpatine, gives in, succumbs to the dark side. And because, you know, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, fear, and all that kind of stuff that Yoda used to say. I digress. It's not about Star Wars. But in Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader, who has sided with Emperor Palpatine, realizes that he makes a mistake and realizes he wants to right the wrongs that he made along the way. So, in that moment, he decides to help his son, Luke Skywalker, and chunk Emperor Palpatine over the edge. And that is what's going to happen with The Rock, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes. It's going to get to the point, I don't know if it's going to be at Mania. I don't know if the WWE is going to double down on the John Cena heel turn, where John Cena actually wins because he goes further heel. He dives deeper and deeper into off the beaten path. He loses his way. Maybe it's going to be at SummerSlam, where John Cena recognizes the wrong that he did, and he goes against The Rock, a la Darth Vader and Emperor, and he's gonna chunk The Rock into the abyss, therefore saving his soul, therefore saving the Force ghost of John Cena. So a wild time, dude. And one thing I want to leave you with, and I appreciate it, I know typically I have these edited down with everything that's so I just had to get this off my chest before I lose it. It's like a journal, so to speak. One thing that I want to say is, for the longest time, John Cena's catchphrase is, "You can't see me. You can't see me." And as a face, it means it's like, man, I'm above you. You can't see me. You can't touch me. I am untouchable. What if, my friends, John Cena has been telling us for the longest time, what you see on television is not who he is. You can't see me. This is who I am. The real John Cena. The heel John Cena. The John Cena that sold out for a chance for his 18th gold. The John Cena that cares about his legacy more than anything else. Can you see him now? Sub for more.